Okay. So February, most of the month, hopefully we're going to see quite a few of you there. We're busy going through all the different applications, and thanks to those of you that have actually completed the forms and stuff already. But definitely we're going full focus on February for Jan and Feb, for Global, sorry. And we definitely, hopefully, get to see some of you face to face. It's not just going to be a video conference. April, we're going to spice things up a little bit, and we're going to try do our first SG panel month. Okay, so this month we want to try and see how many panels we can actually host around the world. We are going to try do the panels around a theme. We just haven't decided on what that theme should be yet, so keep an eye out for that. As is tradition, May we're going to look at SG Women's Month. So for all the newbies, in May we try and get as many female leaders on stage as possible. Okay. We also have a lot of cool art assets around for that. So keep an eye out on that calendar, and once the art assets are ready, you guys can start marketing your events. June is going to be our SG Europe month. So as you know, that's our European conference. Just FYI, next year things are happening a bit sooner. So it's still happening in June, but instead of happening in the middle of June, it's now the 5th and 6th of June. Okay, so just keep an eye out for that. Obviously, it's a lot smaller scale compared to Global, but it's still an amazing event. And if you are in Europe at the time, we highly recommend everyone checks it out. Then moving on swiftly, July, we're trying to host mid-year parties. Okay, so as we said, we got the links there for, why you should host a party, why they're good ideas. It's a nice time in the middle of the year to just kind of like celebrate. You've got to celebrate the little wins. So the fact that we survived 6 months, we've got to celebrate that. September, another experimental month. We're going to try do SG Workshop Month. Okay. Once again, it is going to be themed. We just haven't decided on that yet, so we'll let you guys know. We'll be sharing the theme at Global Conference, but we definitely want to try and get as many workshops organized around the world. Okay. Then something we're going to try in October that we weren't very successful with this year is SG Live. And again, for the newbies, that's where we basically live stream an event on our YouTube channel or Facebook around the world. And the local chapters basically organize like a viewing party. So either you join the live stream if you're in the right time zone. Otherwise, you can download the recording or play the recording as part of your events. Okay. November, as is tradition, we're going with Global Entrepreneurship Week. The dates have been released. So this next year, it's the 18th to the 24th of November. So if you can, try and host as many of your events during that week as possible. The great thing about it is we get to list our events on the Global Entrepreneurship Week website. So, you get an audience that you may normally not have gotten just because people know the program. And then finally, as is tradition, again, December, we've got our year-end party. Once again, we'll have some really cool art assets available, and it's a nice way to wrap up the year, especially for the chapters that join kind of later in the year. It's a great way to do like a launch party to say, hey, listen, let's celebrate 2018, but also there's great things coming in 2019 and so on. Okay, that's basically the year calendar, nice and short and sweet. As we have more information on those themes and so on, we will be updating HelpScout. So that original article that we posted for the 29-year plan, bookmark that page. Check it out, and as we have more information, we'll let you guys know. Okay. Then moving on. One thing we wanted to talk to you guys about. So we've actually received a couple of complaints where a few directors were reaching out to other directors with kind of inappropriate wording and inappropriate behavior over Slack. As you can imagine, we take these things very, very seriously. So we don't know how many people were affected by this, but as soon as we as HQ heard what was happening, we took immediate action and we suspended that director and we removed all the access, and we try to make sure that, everyone involved came out of this, clean and happy. So if you do, by any chance, have anything happening to you, if anyone reaches you out of the blue and is inappropriate or they just make you feel uncomfortable, please let HQ know so that we can address these things. After all, you guys are our family, okay? If you're not happy, we're not happy. So don't keep quiet. Let us know as soon as anything pops up. We're there to help you, and we need to make sure that everyone is taken care of and that everyone's happy. Okay. If anything has happened to you in the past, like I said, it can be anything, just inappropriate using of words or just making you feel uncomfortable, please reach out to Ford. Let us know so that we can deal with these issues. Okay. Your happiness is very important to us, and we take these things very seriously. So please, no matter how small, let us know so that we can handle it. Okay. Then another thing that Marion now knows all too well is we've had a couple of reports in the UK as well as in Africa and a couple of African countries where people are using the Startup Grind brand to host unregistered Startup Grind events. Okay. Obviously, this is a big problem. It's something that's also we need to crack down on. So if any of you do pick up any stories of unsolicited Startup Grind chapter in your area, hosting events or taking money from people using the Startup Grind brand, please let us know immediately so that we can, jump on it and get that sorted out. Obviously, prevention is better than cure. So if we can, we try and protect our trademarks and everything as much as we can. But, the world's a big place and things do happen. So if you do pick up anything, please let us know immediately. If need be, we can get our lawyers involved and we'll get this shut down as quickly as possible. Okay. So just making you guys aware, please keep an eye out, especially in your cities. If you pick up anything fishy or, weird going on, please let us know so that we can investigate. Okay. That's everything from my side. Jelle, up to you.
Well, thanks, Bruce. That was an important last note, especially. So, Marion, we are kind of in contact right now with our lawyers to sort out the one thing that's happening in London at the moment. So you hear back from G and Netta on that. Basically, all of our aims and all of our kind of like ambition as well as energy is now going towards the global conference, of course, which is happening in February next year. And we would, of course, love all of you for you to be there. We know that it's a difficult mission, but we already saw a couple of great people that are actually applying to be there and actually filled in the form. I really want to stretch a little bit on the fact that we have sent out a couple of emails where we basically asked you to fill in some of your details. And even if you're not going to the global conference or maybe can't make it, please do fill out actually that information field, because we are currently working hard on getting all our information in our databases correct. And we actually are going to need that to build better systems actually to engage with you guys and to make the community only stronger. So it would be very much beneficial if you could actually fill in that information for us. So besides that, we have also, for the people that actually know that they're going to join, we have already heard from quite a few, but we have actually limited kind of like space for our accommodation in AC hotels, which some of you might have stayed already maybe last year, as well as for the bunk beds. So if you actually know you are going, I would highly suggest you actually already make that payment, so your kind of like slot is actually completely booked, because it's a first come first served basis. As much as we would like to kind of like slot it for you guys, we want to just make it fair for everyone to kind of like take a slot if you already know you're going. So definitely make that payment if you know you're going. So another thing is the t-shirt competition. I mean, we have been speaking a little bit about this, especially kind of like during the calls, but we're going to be hosting a t-shirt competition. Well, we're actually hosting a t-shirt competition, and we received already quite some cool submissions actually. What the idea is everyone can kind of like upload an idea of the t-shirt that they would like to have in the goodie bag. Especially, it's only for the kind of like the directors that we will be making, and the winner of the t-shirt contest will get 500 USDs towards his flight to global. So that's there are some cool designs, and some of you might know we have always kind of like been in the theme of movies. Well, I wouldn't recommend you to steal any kind of like brands. Of course, there are copyrights, but it's definitely something that might inspire you as well. So definitely like come up with all your designs, hand it in. It's by no means you're allowed to kind of hand in more than 10 or even 5 designs if you have to. But yeah, come up with some cool designs, hand them in, and then you have the opportunity to win $500 to your flights, which can be quite a big deal. For example, from Europe at the moment, I was looking at flights, and it's roughly like 600 USDs to fly from Amsterdam to global. So it could almost cover your the whole budget for it. So hand them in before the 20th of December. We have really set the deadline on 20th of December because we're going to need to review it all together with the team, and as well as eventually pick the winner and ensure the t-shirts are printed. So that's why there's quite a tight deadline. So you have another 8 days. Sit down with your designer or get your creative brain out and upload some cool designs. The other thing that we wanted to talk about briefly is the startup program. Gigi, do you want to tell something about it? I know there was in Slack also a call for people with a VC or investing background, maybe that you guys want to tap into for the global conference. Maybe you can highlight a little bit on it. I'm gonna unmute you, sorry.
I'm unmuting. Also, Imogen Watson is on the call too from the startup program. So Imogen, if you want to come into this as well. Yeah, she's right there. So if you want to introduce yourself, because I was on this call the last time as well, if you want to, and then we could both talk about it.
Sure. So I'm pretty much exactly the same as Jamila, but based in London. So I'm part of the team that helps decide which startups get to exhibit at the conference, and in general help with running the program and the Accelerate program during and after the conference. So yeah, pretty much same role as Jamila. Started roughly at the same time, but obviously she's in Dubai and I'm in London.
Yes. Yes, I'm in Dubai, so I'm a little bit remote from the team, but even when they're having lunch, I join them. It's not a big deal. So what's going on with the startup program? We've actually hit a very big milestone. We've hit 100 startups. That's internally, of course, out of 300, which is our goal. So that will be exactly, it's a lot. We've been working really hard, and Alex, who could not be on this call today, and Naaman as well with Imogen, we are the team of the startup program. And of course, just with everybody on community and on this channel, if we can't urge enough just to spread the word and get those applications in, give people a chance globally to take part of this program, the exposure, the network, the value that they will get will definitely not be available to them anywhere else in the world. We do cater to them. We do cater to their needs. We're not some other conference. We've been here for a while. We've been doing this for almost 5 years. Is it, Bruce? 5. So, and it's startups from all shapes and sizes and backgrounds, preferably tech to a certain degree, but it doesn't have to be. They could receive funding if they haven't. It's also the same. We also encourage a lot of women startups to apply. If you could definitely highlight that, that would be great. We really want them to have an opportunity. As you know, in tech, it's mostly male-driven to a certain degree, or this is at least what we felt. So that would definitely help spread the word. Also, in terms of what Yella was saying about office hours and investors, so a lot of these startups are expecting, some one-on-one time to receive advice, to receive mentorship, to receive guidance on whatever they may need for their startups at the time. So if you feel like you can be one of those people, or you have a certain expertise in that field and you are attending global, please do let us know, because it would really help us. Or if you know anyone that would attend and is already there, if they could spare some time to speak with the startups as well. And that's a majority of the update. Imogen, is there anything else you want to?
Yeah, I was just going to say a couple of things. So I think it was about a month or so ago now, I posted a message on the Slack channel for, I think it was a community one, which says, which of the startup team is responsible for which territory. So that's direct you to who to reach out to. And also there's more information there about the referral program as well. So you guys can actually get some credit towards your flights if you refer a startup that we accept and who then pays as well. And there's more information. I uploaded a PDF that kind of explains it all, but definitely have a look at that as well. And obviously reach out to any of us if you have any questions.
Definitely. In regards to the referral program, so basically what Imogen was saying is that if you as a director recommend startups from your area to the startup program, you would receive discount on coming to global. And we do have a one-pager that would be shared with you. And also in terms of areas, so whether they're coming from Africa, Middle East, it's usually to me, to Naaman, it's the States, Imogen, it's Europe. And Alec, it could go to anyone. You don't have to just get it through in the pipeline and we'll take it from there. It's not a problem. And also you could Slack us and let us know if you have referred anyone and you want to follow up and see if they've showed up on our pipeline. even you could do an email introduction, like anything would work. Does anybody have any questions about it? Did we go over it a little fast, or is it clear about the startup program? Okay. Yeli, thank you.
So you'll see we sent a link to the Slack channel. So if anyone does have any questions, you can follow that link. It'll take you directly to the Slack room, and you can interact with all of the startup program guys and girls and find out anything you need to. Okay.
Thank you.
Perfect. Well, that leaves us quite a bit of time. That's nice for Chase. We don't have a very huge agenda, so we thought it would be cool to, go over a couple of stories that you guys might have, maybe cool plans for the Christmas time of the year, or does some of you have a big party coming up? I know London had their December event yesterday, if I'm not mistaken, with Carly being there, so that was pretty cool. We'd love to hear some stories. So please raise your hand to share, and then I will unmute you, and we can share some great stories together.
Well, we could start, because last night we had events, and the night before we had some dinner, joining our ambassadors and then the startup team here in London, and it was really good fun. So it's kind of festive season, and we had Carly here as well, so it was super fun.
Was a cool picture that came along. I really liked that one, especially the second.
And we have missed you all. Where were you? Why didn't you come?
I'm here, man. I'm doing the last bits to actually get our end of the year goals. But we got to seeing each other soon in a couple of months.
In the meantime, Merry Christmas to you all.
Thanks, Marion. Same to you. Hope you will enjoy it, but I'm pretty sure you will. Any other cool stories?
Next, it's been a long year, guys. I'm sure you all share the sentiment. It seemed at times that this year would never end, but I'm sure there was lots of good stuff that we can talk about. So please, now's the time. Share. Tell us how things are going. Let us know.
It's going to be quite Christmas.
I can go. Okay. For me, it's Cape Town. We hosted Gabriel Luna Ostaseski from Silicon Valley. So he's a founder of Upshift Partners. He was responsible for the global expansion of Uber, which was pretty cool. So this event we put together with another organization that hosts events called Heavy Chef on the Silicon Cape. So we decided to host events during 1 week and recorded the Cape Town Startup Week. So something that we put together just a month or so before, which was pretty cool. The attendance was amazing, and the lessons were super cool. I've hosted these events now for about 6 years, actually, but this still ranks as one of my top 3. I'd encourage you guys to just watch it and learn like the stages of a startup, and especially that we talk about scaling, but a lot are not ready to scale. So that was like mind blowing. We had a good event.
Thanks a lot for sharing, Sandras. If you have the video or something like that, can you put it in the Humble Brag? I would love to see it.
Cool, we'll do.
I see some hands. Yeah, Mohammed, go ahead.
Oh, okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah, very well.
Okay. Hello, everybody. We haven't seen each other for so long, especially Bruce and Yeli. You guys, what do you eat all the time? You are energizing. So at least you can tell me what do you guys eat. Okay, thank you. And I have a very quick question. And this next week we are going to have a session on 18 in December. So we are inviting one of our friend. He is from Canada. He worked with a company called Shopify. He is also a developer. So I was just asking, can we invite that kind of people? Because he's not basically from our city, but he want to inspire the developers of my city. So is that okay if you invite them to
100%, man. I mean, it's
Okay.
what we are doing at the essence. I mean, what we want to do is, of course, inspire people, right? And at the end of the day, we are very much focused, of course, on our local ecosystems. But when these great opportunities are a big name, it's very cool to have them. Of course, you can host them.
Thank you so much.
But I hope you're gonna have a great event. Definitely share a couple of the photos with us, and looking forward to it. But very well done, mate. That's gonna be cool.
Thank you, and happy Merry Christmas in advance.
Yeah, same to you, man.
Okay, we had a couple of hands up. Who else? Who's next?
I see Alex, Tessa, Michael, Henry. Okay, Henry, go ahead, man. Yeah, I can hear you, man.
So in Kigali, we had something really cool. So we are doing our Christmas party next week, and we are launching a partnership with a partner that is covering all of our logistics next year. So it's pretty cool. We struggled to do 9 events, and our event is going to be really cool, and we are looking forward to getting like maybe 150, 200 at least. So, and also cool stuff we plan for the whole of next year, logistics cover. Now is to try to grow Mali and make the team bigger. So yeah, cool stuff happening in Kigali, and yeah, that is it. And Bruce, I'm going to reach out to you. A lot of guys from the Great Lakes are going to talk to you for starting chapters there.
Perfect.
Hi,
Where,
Henry.
I was just going to say, where in the world are you two at the moment?
So Henry is in Kigali. I'm in Dar es Salaam at the moment. I'm actually
Seeds North Africa Summit. Awesome.
Always grinding, eh? Always grinding.
Give my greetings to Fuyisha if you see him. Fuyisha Kabaka.
The chief.
The chief, yeah, the one and only, right? Let's see. Who else having his hand up? I know Sergio had his hand up. Want to share something?
Hi guys. I just wanted to share that we tried to experiment this month with a new format of a workshop, and I was a bit skeptical. My team was a bit more positive, and we got blown away by the results. We basically got sold out in 1 day, and we used the waiting list very extensively. So now I know how that works. It's an amazing feature. We had more people on the waiting list than signed up, so it was actually the most expensive ticket we ever had. And the workshop was on visual communication, so how to use little drawings and little icons to plan your to make your agenda, or to kind of just take notes, or to make a presentation. So the event is starting in 1 hour and a half, so I'll be jumping at some point.
Good luck, man. Awesome. Really share with us the feedback, especially like because of this, we wanted to make it kind of a theme for next year, so everyone can try it out. And we have this kind of feedback really is kind of like supporting for a lot of the directors, especially also when it comes to partnerships and sponsorships. We have been hearing, of course, quite a bit that our partners wanted us to do kind of like workshops. So hopefully it's got to be perceived very well, but it seems like it does. So great job, man.
I'll follow up.
Please send all the information you've got to forward, because ultimately, I mean, we're relying on you guys for feedback, because instead of trying to dictate to you how you should run your workshops, we thought, you guys are the experts, you can tell us what worked and what didn't. So the more feedback we get from you guys, the better we can do our training for any future directors. So that sounds fantastic. Please send through all of the information you got. That sounds amazing.
We'll do it. All right.
Who's next?
I saw some hands still.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, Tesfa, go ahead.
Hello, everyone. Are you listening? As you know, we are actually Startup Grid Addis Ababa is a new chapter. We actually started about less than a month ago. Actually, I have talked with about 10 professors. There are a lot of professors working on the fields that we want, especially on the startup companies kind of things. So I have talked to them. 2 of them would like replied as soon and said they want to join the team, the startup, our team. One of them is this Professor Jalani from Stanford University, and the other one is named with I think still from Stanford University. So two of them joined our team in this month. And just to tell you guys, we will we will have our first event December 22. I was actually thinking of posting it on the blog. The ROAs Ethiopia will be so he said he will be very happy to join us. So we have actually worked on the sponsorships. I think I actually emailed you the problems that we have encountered for Bruce, I think, if you say it. We also are working on the funding. I'm sure we will have a very good news in these few days. This is it.
Awesome, amazing news, man. And good luck with your first event. That you pulled it off fast, man. That's what we like to see. And still in December, strong end of the year. So congrats, man.
Thank you.
Who else had his hand up? Johnny, Alex. I'm gonna go with Alex and I'll come to you, Johnny. Is that all right? All right, Alex. I'm gonna unmute you. There you go.
Okay. Hi, everyone. So we officially had our first fireside chat yesterday, and it went well. The attendance wasn't what I wanted it to be yet, but it's very encouraging because people keep telling us that they used to go to Dubai just to attend startup brand events, and now that the Abu Dhabi chapter is alive, so it's very encouraging, and a lot more people are coming to our events. And we had a panel about optimizing people's voice and presence on LinkedIn, and the response was very, very good. So we still don't have any sponsors yet. We still have a few challenges, but it's definitely encouraging. So it was
Great. Well, small steps at a time, right? I mean, we all had an event probably with sometimes like 10 or 20 people attending. So it's going to only get better from now on. So keep up the good work, and you will definitely get eventually to the goals. But great to see that you actually host your first events. Thanks a lot, Alex, for sharing.
Thank you.
All right, Johnny, I'm going to unmute you, man.
All right. Nice one. Yeah, I'll just give a bit of a Glasgow update overall. Since Daniel and Michaela aren't here at the moment, but yeah, things have been really, really well here. It's great to have almost like a mini Startup Grind community within Glasgow. I think we've ran across the 3 chapters. We've ran 8 or 9 events for the past couple of months. Got a Christmas party planned, or I think it's not yet to be fully announced, but like a informal Christmas party / December event with a man called Finbar Taylor, whose company's recently raised 2.1 mil. Coming out of Y Combinator, so that's going to be pretty cool. As a Scottish founder out there in California, so we're having a bit of a end of year drink / let's chat to a man who's done very well for himself. So yeah, that's all good. At Strathclyde, no December event unfortunately, but that's because we have our exam period in December, and it's hard enough to, like, let alone running the event, it's hard enough to get anyone to come along if people have, you know, exams and stuff. But we'll be back up in January. We've got a few guys. Well, no one officially lined up. I've got a few people that I know are interested and keen that we can draw upon. So yeah, things are going really well over in Glasgow. As I said, it's lovely to have, like, the cool thing about the SGU and SGH chapters. All the rest of it means we can have almost a community within the city. Like, obviously there's the wider community of yourselves, but there's also a community here. It's really great. I don't know. The support's always there each of the events. So thank you, go and going well.
Awesome, man. To give a little bit of background for the rest of the people on the call. So this year in Glasgow, every university has now its own Startup Grind university chapter, and they have been doing amazing, actually hosting almost every single month. We're just waiting on the last university to come along as well, and I'm pretty sure they're going to be hosting soon. So it's definitely cool to see how actually the university chapter is really much tied into also kind of like the larger chapter, and has been kind of like feeding back the attendance to the bigger chapter. So it really kind of came full circle. So amazing what you guys are doing, and we're actually starting to unwrap this now as well in some other cities. So also Madrid is going to have 3 university chapters by the end of this year. So it's pretty exciting. But amazing stuff, Johnny, what you guys are doing, and good luck with your exam.
Cheers. Thank you.
Who else? I'm just searching for hands within all these great faces. It's sometimes difficult to see. All right, Reading, Andreas, I'm gonna unmute you in.
Hey, how's it going? Yeah, speaking of SGs, I literally just got onboarded today, so it's like my introduction. Hey guys, it's great to be part of the
Welcome
family.
to the family.
So yeah, we're SG Reading, University of Reading. I'm a computer science student. We're looking to build like a better relationship between computer science and business, because our business school is quite awesome in Reading. It's kind of working under the umbrella of Finn, who's SG Thames Valley. So looking forward to doing great things in the coming year.
Well, keep tight, man. Working with Finn must be difficult. No, just joking.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, he's a great person to work with.
Yeah, he's awesome.
I see double Peter now. That's great. He just posts from multiple angles.
He kind of sent an invite like an hour ago, I think, saying, "Hey, there's a thing in half an hour. Please join." I'm like, okay.
There you go, man. Well, the man himself, I knew he had to go to the school of his kids, so he couldn't join himself. All right. Are there more great stories to share?
Cool. I see you've had your hand up for a while. Go for it, sir.
Yes. Hi, guys. Do you hear me?
Loud and clear.
So basically, we are doing our last event of the year on next week, next Tuesday, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be the biggest event of the year. We are going to have at least 100 people through the door, so I'm very happy about it. Yes, because like for the past year it was about like 40 people on average, and it's going to be 100. So yeah, we're doing very good. Plus is going to be a great speaker. He's a billionaire, a Russian guy who's living in Valley. Yeah, he has a couple of companies, startups, and he's like Forbes 200. And I'm pretty sure, guys, I'm going to convince them to talk at our London conference. Yes, so I found you already a pretty good speaker for London conference. And of course, actually, guys, I'm looking for people to join me after the global. Yes, because it's going to be my first time in California. I've been to New York before, so to East Coast, but in the West Coast is going to be my first time. So if you don't know what to do after the global, yes, I'm going to go on a short road trip to Vegas. Yeah, some people say it's actually not short, but I don't think that like 8 hours drive, it's a long distance. Yeah, so if any one of you would like to join, we will have a car, and yeah, we're gonna do something fun. And of course, Merry Christmas to everyone. Yes, and first Happy New Year, because actually our Russian Christmas is gonna be on 7th of January. So Merry your Christmas, guys.
I'd never do that. That's a fun fact, actually. So you're setting aside a couple of bucks for the casinos in Las Vegas, Kirill?
Oh, just don't start on it, because I'm full up with it with my mother. Seriously, just don't start with that.
Yeah, you gotta love a bit of gambling. It's always fun. Awesome, man. Thanks for sharing. And definitely people join in. I mean, California is a beautiful place if you have the opportunity to travel. I never made that road trip. I wanted to do it, but it's gonna be great. And 8 hours is not that much, man. It's one sitting, right?
Yeah, sure. Seriously.
All right. Do I see more hands? Where are the hands? Prince.
Hello. How's everyone doing?
Very well. And yourself?
Thank you for the welcome. And this is actually my first call as well. I'm Prince, and I am the director of Startup Grind in Manzini in Swaziland. Holy shit. Oops. Okay. I think my bad. So that's just how that's how I leave. I'm so sorry.
That's
the battery is dead. Long live the battery.
Yeah, welcome to Africa, guys.
Well, it wasn't a power shortage though.
Well, I mean, we in South Africa are now having load shedding again, which means every day our power gets shut off just because of bad mismanagement. So, like, yeah, Africans, man, we struggle. We really struggle.
And you are even in South Africa, man, so you can't complain.
Exactly. German, I see you had your hand up as well. You want to unmute it? There we go. How's it going?
Hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, yeah, great. Yeah, I'd just like to introduce myself because there's some people who I haven't met before. So I'm Jamie. I'm from the Wolverhampton startup grind.
It's super quiet. We can't hardly hear you.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Better.
I think my mic. Yeah. So I'm Jamie. I'm from Wolverhampton Startup Grind UK. We've hosted one event at the moment, and that was in November, which went quite well. So I'm looking to plan my next event in late January or February. Yep. So I'd just like to say hello to everybody.
Awesome. Hello back. Great to hear that you finally had your first event and look forward to your second event. Now it's time to get the momentum going. But I know you have been talking quite a bit within, right? So
yeah,
if there's
yeah, absolutely. So I've got some good speakers lined up for next year. So it should be good fun.
That's cool. I mean, once momentum starts rolling, then everything comes a little bit easier eventually. Awesome. Do we see more hands here? I really like this, guys. There are already some great stories told here. Some fun facts, some learnings.
I can share a story. That's okay. So I'm Candace, everybody, community manager of the Americas at Startup Grind. I also am a chapter director in Dayton, Ohio, the home of the airplane, if any of you guys are aware. But it's our third year. We're about to enter our fourth year of Startup Grind Dayton. We're closing with a holiday party and a panel discussion on rethinking the hustle. So for many entrepreneurs, I don't know if you guys agree with this, but there's often the conversation of if you don't sacrifice your life and your family and your health and your friendships, you're not really committed. You're not really in the hustle as much as you should be. So we're going to have a panel with three that are talking about how they're being either more vulnerable with their startups and their entrepreneurial journey and being really honest and open about those struggles, and then how they're trying to challenge that and find balance and find, just prioritizing that whole work-life balance thing. So I think it's a really important conversation to be having in the startup community. So really excited about that. And we are also growing our team. So after 3 years of being a director, we've learned a few things. In the beginning, if anyone, could breathe and they wanted to join the team, we were like, cool, welcome. That didn't end up working out so well because we got some people that really didn't want to work and they really didn't want to commit to giving back to the community. They just wanted to show up. And so we've kind of redone our whole process and gone through this application and left it open for 3 weeks that people could apply to join our team. We've had so many amazing applications. People that have never been part of our community, entrepreneurs that have been, doing their hustle. They've not been engaged in the community. And so it's been a really time-consuming process, but ultimately a really good process to get some people that are really committed to giving back to our community. So feeling super pumped for 2019.
Awesome. You should ask Jason Fried from Basecamp to join onto your panel.
Yeah? Is he trying to challenge the hustle?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Basecamp is kind of like built on he's not the type of guy like hustle, but he's more like work-life balance. So you should listen to his podcast together with Tim Ferriss. Tim Ferriss podcast and with Jason Fried.
I know Tim Ferriss, but I don't know Jason. I'll look him up.
And the fun fact is, Startup Grind used to use Basecamp. So the directors used to use that to manage their events. So it is kind of full circle.
Awesome.
And hey, Sandras, and hey, Peter. Awesome to see
Also, a fun
faces.
fact for everyone on this call, and the hat already gave it a little bit away, but Candice is a pretty good rapper, actually. So you might have
You know
come
what? I
to.
dibble dabble.
I was wondering what was going on with the hat, so I'm really glad I figured it out. I
So
like it.
guys,
But for real,
for
though,
those
like
of you,
I like it.
everyone needs to come to Global just so that we can have like our karaoke off, because we have some damn good singers in our community, and honestly, like we could win competition. And Candice is one of those that has an amazing voice. I mean, I'm not just saying that to no smoke. But I think we should just do a duet. We should do a duet. That at Global, we're doing a duet.
2019.
All right. All right, I'm calling this next office hour call is set for karaoke, half an hour slot. Can two people come?
No pressure. With the
Awesome.
hat, though, real quick, we got these last year at Global. So every year at the Global Conference, we get some amazing swag. So whether it's the T-shirts, there's sweatshirts. Last year was the hat, so I wanted to rock it today. All kinds of great stuff.
Awesome. I'm just curious. I mean, we have been hearing from already most of you, which is great. Really like that all of you are sharing your stories. And it's also good to have a little bit of time to actually not go through the agenda, but just do a little bit of catching up and actually getting to know each other a little bit better. But I also want to be respectful of everyone's time. So, I mean, if we don't have any more cool stories to share, I'm also not gonna keep you all here. But then I kind of like want to thank you all for like taking the time out of your busy day. And Bruce is raising his hand, so go ahead.
Just a couple of quick things before we go. First things first. You guys should have seen that we've actually been updating your art assets periodically. So you are going to get an email shortly saying, hey, congratulations, your new art assets are up and running. Okay. It's in your exact same Google Drive folders as before. Anything that was there previously, we moved to an archive folder. So you still got access to absolutely everything. And all the new stuff's there. So your new banners and your new logos. Okay. The static stuff, the banners that don't change, the roll-up banners, all that kind of stuff, the business cards, that is all now in our brand kit. Okay, so in the email we send you, we'll explain all of this. So you'll see there are fewer files there now, but just everything that has your unique logo is now in your Drive folder, and everything that's General Startup Grind is in the brand kit. Okay, we've got some really cool new wallpapers for 2019 as well. So if you want to spice up your computer backgrounds, check those out. Keep an eye out for that email. And then last but not least, obviously, this is the time where we all celebrate Christmas on the Christian side of things, but obviously, we've got to acknowledge the others, happy Hanukkah, happy Kwanzaa, and the rest of them. So please, this is a festive season for all of us to celebrate. So whatever your religion, whatever your faith, whatever, if you're taking time off or not, please, guys, have a great December. Hopefully you get some time off. If you do, enjoy it. Before you leave, as is tradition, we need to take a cool photo. So please, before anyone leaves, I'm going to do a countdown from 3 to 1. Once we hit 1, do a cool pose, and then we're going to take an awesome photo. Okay. Is everybody ready?
No, not yet. Wait a minute. Yeah, ready.
Okay. On the count of 3, 2,
Really, Ella, really
1.
taking us off the field.
Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Awesome. Thank you, everybody. Nice. So that's basically it from the HQ team. You guys can officially leave now if you would like to. If there's anyone else we've got 10 more minutes. So if you want to share some stuff, if you want to, celebrate, let us know anything. We are still going to be around. Otherwise, you guys are welcome to leave. Thank you very much for an amazing year. It's been a fantastic year for Startup Grind. We are almost basically about to hit our 600 chapter goal, which is fantastic. And we couldn't have done that without you guys. Okay. So thank you for that. Thank you for all of the hard work you put in for 2018. Thank you for all of the hard work you will put in 2019. Have a great break. Have a Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Hanukkah, everything. Enjoy it. You guys deserve the time off. And thank you very much.
Thank you, Bruce. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
I think we got a question.
Yeah, we got a couple of questions.
Yeah, we got to be staying on for 10 minutes. So.
Okay, I go. So in the process of planning for 2019, what I found limiting is that we have like set themes and topics for many months. This leave little space to really create things that really is relevant to your local ecosystem. So I don't know, like it's one thing to focus on what startup needs here and create things around that topic, and it's another thing to make sure you align globally. So we are in the battle between these two things. Maybe we are going to do double events, or maybe we're going to do one event. So this is a conversation we're going. It's just an observation. It's good to mention it.
Well, I mean, if I may, so we have a saying in South Africa, which is local is lekker, which basically means, you know, like local is the most important thing. So, you know, if what's on the program doesn't quite match up with what you guys are trying to do at that moment, you know, it's okay to deviate. Okay. Again, we're all about educating, inspiring, and connecting people. And as long as you do that, whether you stick to a theme or not, we really don't mind. Okay. As long as we make our goal of trying to educate every single entrepreneur on the planet, go for it. Okay.
I mean, the most important theme that we really like to stick to is Female Founders Month. But I think that's relevant in kind of like every city in the world. Besides that, you're more than welcome to like step away from it. It's also like for some people to give a little bit of inspiration maybe on what they want to do. And especially next year, we want to be trying out quite a bit more stuff as we have been quite conservative in the for some doing workshops. But we have found that we as Startup Grind now are at a position that we really should try out more as well. And that's also why I really want to hear kind of like the feedback of Sergio, like how his workshop is going, because that are things that we can like expand to more cities now. But like if it doesn't fit exactly in that month, go ahead. I mean, it's not important. That's also why we really kind of like stepped away from some themes, you know, and don't make it compulsory for everyone to join in. I mean, at the end of the day, you know what's good for your ecosystem, and if that's in that month you have a kick-ass speaker in something completely different that can actually join along, of course I would do it as well, you know.
I have one question if there's time. Hello?
Just speak into the mic. We can hear you, but it's a bit muffled.
All right. As I told you before, there is one problem about the ticketing thing. I don't know. It's helpful to post our tickets on the website because I think almost all the attendees that we are expecting, I'm sure they don't have the access to buy things online, especially these ticket things. So the one thing is how that is possible. The one question is that, and the other thing is how are we going to communicate with the sponsors thing. Actually, the one that you gave, the answer that you gave me before wasn't that clear for me. So
okay, so in terms of I get connectivity in Africa is a big problem. So part of the event wrap up, okay, so as part of the whole event process, there's an event wrap up, and as part of that wrap up, you can mention how many, you know, walk-ins you had. So even if you don't necessarily sell the tickets through the platform, let's say you're doing cash at door, you can do a completely cash at door event, and then just as people arrive, check them in, do some kind of a manual check-in. If you can, what we've done in Cape Town, for example, is a business card. So if people love business cards, you know, in your city, you can get them to put that in a ball, and you can kind of use that as their check-in. But just find a way to, you know, write down the basic information, get how many people are there, how many, you know, how much money was generated from that, and then as part of your event wrap-up, you can literally say we had, you know, 20 people walking off and all of that. Okay. So if you can't use the platform to sell tickets, that is okay. We do accommodate for that as part of the wrap-up. I know Sandros has a lot of good feedback on that, so I don't know if you want to weigh in here, Sandros.
Yes. I think something that I found useful when I was running Lusaka, we had similar problems. People struggle to pay for things online. So, but still would put a ticket to say pay at door. So it just makes them at least do something, which is very different from if they just say, I'm going to come, and they don't take any action at all. It helps that when they register, then you can send them email. It helps also to build your database. And then another thing that was super helpful is to actually just capture when they come to the event, to capture their phone numbers as well. So SMSs worked very well in Lusaka. people will get the SMS, but will never see the emails. They've got 1,000 unread messages, but at least SMS, they would read that. So you could try something that works in your chapter. Even here in South Africa, for Cape Town, we use a lot of email. People see that, but when we hosted one in the townships, in the shanty compounds, nobody opened the email. There it was SMS. So just adapt it, but still it helps when people take some action as opposed to just saying, I'll come and do nothing.
Thank you very much. That was very helpful. The one that I was worried about was how is it to be. I think I want to communicate with you guys with an international standard. I didn't think that was possible. Actually, this handling the members wasn't the problem for me. Handling the issue that's between me and you, it means me and the startup big family. That was my issue to communicate with you guys. So if that's possible, that's very helpful. Thank you very much.
I mean, like I said, as long as you keep the event wrap up. So when you do the event wrap up, you just list what's there. Then, that updates our system so that we know, this event has happened and these are the people that checked in. Because as you would have seen, especially in Africa, we've had a problem where a lot of great chapter directors are hosting events. But again, because of connectivity issues, they don't necessarily use the platform. And then obviously we at HQ have no idea to kind of see how the chapters are performing because there's no actual record of what's happening. So, I mean, as Chandra said, set up a cash-at-door ticket. You can also set up an RSVP event type. So, people don't necessarily have to check out. They can just, reserve their space, give their details so that you can market to them later, down the line, and then just collect their details as part of your event check-in. And then, just make sure you set up or complete the event wrap-up part of it, and then everyone's happy. Go.
All right. Thank you very much.
Cool. Anyone else? Thanks for your help there, Sanders.
You're welcome.
Okay, well, I mean, we've got 2 minutes left. So if no one else has anything else to share, thank you guys for staying behind while the rest left. Thanks for answering questions. Once again, have an amazing time, and we shall chat to you again in the new year. Awesome. Thank you very much. You're all the best.
Happy holidays, everybody.
We love you guys.
Happy New Year.
Yeah. Love you too.
Peace and love.